Every video that I'm showing right now is to help you guys out there to come up with your own evidence, your own ideas, your own point of views. So if you're really interested in this subject, as I am, to go to the channel, which is this one over here, Ancestors of Genesis, and come up with your own mind. See if what I'm saying makes sense. Do the Polynesian ancestors come out of the Americas? And I keep saying yes, they do. They come from the Americas. Not really from the Americas, but they came from Siberia, somewhere around that region. Not Southeast Asia, maybe Asia, India, maybe. I'm not too sure. I'm going to figure all that out. But whatever information I get, at this moment in time, I'm not putting everything together. I'm just researching, going through each video, trying to find the missing links. So then, later on in the year, when I have enough evidence, I can put it all in like a proper documentary, you know. So, this video right here, about Native Indians, and it's the discoveries about ancient America that will blow your mind. So let's just
around 8900, when several lesser-known Central Asian groups were migrating towards Europe, modern genetics tells us that another group headed east across the Bering Strait.
Did you hear that? Another group. So right here, right, there was another group from the Alaska
towards Alaska.
That went into Alaska. Look at this. Everything is making sense to what I'm teaching. So the ancestors of the Polynesian people, whoever these people were, made it to Alaska. This is what his teaching. You know, these are their point of views, not mine. But they're like putting everything together for me.
This time, we know the names of the invaders.
Look at that. Somehow they're missing Polynesian. But look at that. Look at the ancestors where he's pointing, whatever this hollow group see. So this one here, it's not in Southeast Asia, right? It's in Japan, it's in Siberia, it's over here. Look at that, right over here, and a little bit, look at that. Look at the connection, right there. The ancestors of the Polynesian, this guy, through genetics, is showing the pathway of Polynesia, into New Zealand. You may say right here is where the genetics of the Polynesians must have changed. That's what I believe. So let's carry on.
Invaders.
Stupid ad. Honestly, man.
My competitors think I have a 10-person team. But in reality, I'm just one guy with an AI employee. When you're a solo founder,
educate
arriving in the bitter cold were the Algic peoples, the ancestors of nations like the Cheyenne, Blackfeet, Delaware, Illinois, Shawnee, Menominee,
look at all these tribes.
Potawatomi,
So many
Miami,
different
and
people
others.
there.
Often known as the Algonquians, they were among the most successful North American native groups. There was a third invasion, this time from Mexico. Around and east of the Mississippi, platform mounds dot the landscape.
Why am I showing this?
Built.
Why am I showing this? Platform mounds. I'm sure if you're Samoan, you understand why I'm showing you this.
The Natchez came from Mexico. Around the same time that the Algonquians arrived in Alaska, the Natchez began to erect.
So I have to remember this name. In Alaska, whoever this began to erect an empire. So right there we got a name. I can remember it. Might just type it up right now. I'll do it later on.
An empire beginning near modern St. Louis and setting up an epic future clash whose reverberations would be felt for centuries to come.
Wow.
The clash almost didn't happen. When the Algic first arrived in Alaska, they found that people were already there, likely the ancestors of modern peoples in the Eskimo-Aleut language family. The Algics defeated them and may have sent some of the Eskimo-Aleut peoples fleeing east.
They fleed east.
Algics then went south.
So we got to see, look at all these names. So this could actually be the genetics of the Polynesians. Our ancestors must have went through here.
To the western part of modern Canada, there they experienced a very different fate. The Algics' own history refrains from giving details.
Whoa, this is amazing. I see these writings right here within Tonga and Hawaii. The writings, I've seen it.
50 to 100 years passed with little description in their records except a time of much evil. The leaders of the nation are not named. The perpetrators of the evil, whether the Algics themselves or their enemies, possibly members of the Salish language family, are never identified. But the Algonquians survived.
But there's a reason, right? Let's go back, because I know my video is going to run out soon. Now, the reason why this video here was quite interesting, I'll watch this all by myself, but I'm only highlighting things that I find really interesting. I'm sure a lot of Samoans may be not aware why I'm showing this. Why am I showing this right here? The reason why I'm showing you this is because of this video right over here. In Samoa, we too have mountains, right?
And back in the 1970s, there was an archaeological survey which unearthed almost 3,000 different findings.
Look at the mounds.
One of those findings, if anything, the most significant of those findings is the Polynesian mound that you see here. So the Polynesian mound sits at 65 meters wide by 60 meters wide and also 12 meters high. Its function and its role within society is still quite indefinitive.
See, they don't know.
Some of these, particularly from village perspective, was that this was the residence of a high chief, Lilo Maiava, but it was also a place for ceremonies, rituals, but also elite sports. So Polynesian, across these 1,100 acres, sits right on top of the survey. But I'm really interested in understanding the living system as in its entirety. So,
or could you just say the reason why they built that was built like that? Now, my understanding, the way I got all my information was that in Tonga they would built this in order to put someone special, someone of high rank would be buried within one of these so-called small pyramids that they created. So here is more evidence. I'm showing you people how you will not find these pyramids in Southeast Asia. You won't find it. You won't find it in Africa. You won't find it anywhere. The only place you can find this is in Native America. And to conclude that, the way I'm getting it is that the people that built these sort of pyramids came out from Siberia, crossed over into Alaska, and then another tribe came in and they pushed these tribes out into the Americas. So all I'm doing is just showing you people how connected we are to the Native Americans.